This location is still open, but I've noticed three others very close to me that have been closed. One of them, the closest branch to where I live, has only been open about 6 months, maybe, and it's already closed. It reopened for a few days and then it closed again. This bank is where 3 years ago I had to open up a checking account for direct deposit, and I decided to start fresh with a bank that I'd never had any dealings with. And so I came to this bank. It was very close to where I lived, and opened up a checking account. And I was supposed to have free checking, and because of the direct deposit. And I never used the account much. Um, I don't think I've ever written more than a half a dozen checks in the last 3 years, but uh, there was a mistake. They didn't give me free checking, and they were deducting the service charge every month. And all of a sudden, I got an overdraft, and it was like a $35 charge. So I um, came up to the bank. I was angry, and I wanted to fuss at somebody. And what did they do? They gave me the most beautiful young lady. She looked like Miss America, and all the fuss went out of me. I could not fuss at this girl. So anyway, she was very apologetic and said that uh, they had made a mistake, and they took away all the charges and made sure that I was not being charged a service charge. But here's what happened. When I was talking to this young lady, I was looking out the window over her shoulder, and suddenly I had a vision. It was really strange because it was so real that I thought it was real at first. I looked out the window, and the bank was surrounded by people who seemed to be very angry. And some of them were like trying to peer in the windows, and uh, I think some of them might have been hitting on the windows with their fists. And in a millisecond, I had a download that the bank was closed on a day when it should have been open, and all these people wanted to get in and get their money. And I caught myself before I said it, but the words were coming up in me, don't come to work that day. I almost said it to the young lady, and I caught myself, and I realized if I had said it, she wouldn't have had a clue what I was talking about. And then I realized that I was having a vision of everybody surrounding the bank and trying to get in that day. So that was 3 years ago. And since then, I've had another, not a vision, but a dream. This dream was one of those dreams that's very real, and you wake up and you remember the whole dream, and it's like 4 o'clock in the morning for me. But the dream, in the dream, I was in a boardroom of a high-level financial organization. That's what I'll say. It may have been a bank, I don't know. But sitting in the boardroom, they had just had a board meeting, and everybody had left except for three ladies. And they were sitting there just sort of staring out the windows or looking at each other, not talking, and very, very glum. I'll use the word. They were not happy. And one of them said, what are we going to do? And I think another one said, all the money in the banks is worthless. And they just looked at each other. And then one of them said, people are not going to like it. And that was pretty much the end of the dream. But I realized that there's a time coming very soon when money will be suddenly worthless. Cash will be worthless. No matter how much you have in your bank account, it will all be suddenly worthless. Now, whether or not that's just the beginning of some kind of a major adjustment, I don't know. But all I can say is I had a very, very real dream. I am seeing banks close their branches. This particular bank is one of the largest banks in America, I suppose, largest banks in the world. And everywhere I turn, their branches are closing. And I just get the overwhelming feeling that all cash is going to be gone suddenly. Right now, it's hard to find change. You go everywhere you go, they got signs that say no change. We cannot give you change, so you have to round it off or use your debit or whatever. But I can see that everything is moving towards that no cash system. Debit or credit or whatever will be the only exchange, which is part of the control system that's coming. They will have total and complete control over who buys or sells anything when their cash is gone. If you just think about it for a minute, what it will do, that's all I wanted to say. I'm not trying to scare anybody or gloom or doom or anything like that, but I'm just saying be aware that you might want to make some arrangements now to deal with a possible situation when there is no cash and all your money is gone. Until the next time, bye-bye.